Hi everyone! How can we solve a quadratic equation that does not factor with integers such as x squared plus 7x minus 2 equals 0? So we know that there's no factors of 2 that could add up to 7. So only factors of 2 are 2 times 1. So we are not going to be able to factor this. We could use completing the square that we just learned about, right? So we would move the 2 over to the other side, and then we would add half of 7 squared to both sides. But then we'd be dealing with this fraction, and that's not always the easiest way to go about this. In 11.2, we're going to be solving quadratic equations by the quadratic formula. By the end of this section, you should be able to solve quadratic equations using the quadratic formula, determine the number and type of solutions of a quadratic equation by using the discriminant, and solve problems modeled by quadratic equations. So, just to review over how we solved equations by factoring, we want to do this example here, 2x squared plus 9x plus 10 equals 0 by the factoring method. So first we need to have 0 on one side, so that this is in the standard form. And then we need to completely factor the other side. Is there a common factor for all three terms? Nope. So we need to look for factors of the first and last term such that the sum of the products of those factors is the middle term. And x squared can only be x times x. And 2 is a prime number, so it only has factors of 2 times 1. But 10 could be 5 times 2 or 10 times 1. I'm going to go with 5 times 2 to see... No, 10 plus 2 is not going to work. So how about 2 times 5? That'll be a 4x and a 5x. Same sign, both positive. And that works. So then we will take those cross terms. A 2x plus 5 equals 0. And an x plus 2 equals 0. So each of those factors equal to 0 by the zero product property. And then we don't need parentheses anymore. So we'll opposite the number term, then 2x equals negative 5, and divide with 2 to get x equals negative 5 halves. And here we'll just subtract 2 to get a negative 2. So a negative 5 halves and a negative 2. Those are the solutions by factoring. Not all quadratic equations may be solved by this factoring method. So in the next videos, we'll learn more about using the quadratic formula to solve any quadratic, which means degree 2, equations.